Thank you so much. This is the Masters of Law Program's online open house session. We will cover information on our LLM or Masters of Law programs as well as scholarships. Just to introduce myself, my name is Sarah Gonzalez. I'm Assistant Director here at the Strauss Institute for Dispute Resolution over at Pepperdine University School of Law. I've been with Pepperdine for over 13 years, and so what I'm going to be sharing with you in this webinar is information on the program, but also some tips for applying and go over some of the scholarships, which include both partial and full tuition scholarships for our LLM programs. In the audience, we do have members from all around the globe, so just to start a little basically regarding Pepperdine University. Pepperdine University is located in Malibu, California. So we're just on the outskirts of Los Angeles, in that little celebrity beach town along the hill. So Pepperdine University actually enrolls 5 different graduate schools, as well as an undergraduate school as well. So it's part of a larger network of university environments. So there's over 7,600 students in all of Pepperdine's programs. And the Pepperdine main campus is located in the hills of Malibu on an 830-acre campus. Why complete an LLM at Pepperdine? There are a variety of different reasons. One of the benefits of the different LLM programs that we offer is we now have over 7 different LLM programs available at Pepperdine. Through our LLM programs, you can get specialized training in particular areas of law, as well as a more flexible program like the United States Law Program, where you can design a program based on your needs. Whether or not you're looking at sitting for American U.S. bar exam, what we're well known for is our dispute resolution programs. And so we do offer a number of specialty programs in international commercial arbitration, mediation, arbitration, and a number of different specialized areas. We also have a very diverse environment. I think part of the magical rankings of the program comes from the students that actually go through the program. So different from a lot of other law schools, the students that are in the classroom come from a variety of backgrounds. As you can see from the audience that's participating, we have a mixture of both domestic students looking for specialized training, whether it's going to be in entertainment, media, sports law, or dispute resolution, or international candidates that are looking at specialized training or just general U.S. law training. When you step into the classroom and you take that mediation theory and practice or negotiation course, you'll see a mixture of students in the classroom. At Pepperdine Law, we offer a certificate, the Masters of Law program, the Masters of Dispute Resolution, and a number of different offerings. And so we attract students from law backgrounds, attorneys and judges that have been practicing for 20, 25 years plus, as well as recent graduates and non-lawyers. And through the Masters of Dispute Resolution, we get a lot of human resources, counseling, social work. Most recently, we've partnered with Los Angeles Police Department to do a number of training programs. So we have a number of LAPD officers and sergeants and detectives going through the Masters of Dispute Resolution program. So what that gives you is a diverse environment in the classroom. So when you're looking at studying a particular area of law, you can see how it affects a variety of different professions. You can see how mediation is used in non-law avenues or psychology or human resources or business areas in addition to the legal field. And that mixture of both domestic attorneys as well as international practitioners is a unique opportunity. So to see how law is used in Moldova or Ukraine or Russia or Korea, China, Saudi Arabia can be a very unique environment. So as a sampling, this is actually our LLM class for the previous year, where we had 42 international students from 29 different countries. So we do attract a very diverse population of students that go through the program. Another element that makes our program at Pepperdine unique is the ability to translate theory into practice. Depending on which funnel of courses, there are two different sectors of how we're offering our LLM programs. One is through our graduate law programs. The graduate law programs will include our new entertainment, media, sports law LLM, as well as the LLM in United States law, and our dispute resolution track, which is the various mediation, arbitration, international commercial arbitration programs. And I'll go into those in a little bit more detail. But when it comes to translating theory into practice, for the dispute resolution courses, the way that we teach our courses is a little bit different from typical law school environments. We are very hands-on when it comes to how we teach the courses. So many courses will have lectures, discussions, but you'll see on the photo on the bottom bottom left, we have a number of simulated exercises because we want you to learn the skills to mediate, to figure out what your negotiation style is. We also have a number of symposiums and conferences that we host where we have the ability to connect students with practitioners in the field. So the photo at the top right is actually one of our symposiums that we hosted where practitioners are coming in with students and actually creating discussions or think tanks on kind of the next generation of managing conflict, as well as a variety of internship or externship placement organizations that we work with. And so the bottom photo is actually one of our students that did an internship at the Beijing Arbitration Commission. So there are a number of different ways to get practical experience through the LLM program. In addition, just announced this year is our partnership with AEG. And so Pepperdine University is in a unique position for those in the entertainment field to provide opportunities for students through this unique partnership. So Pepperdine has been designated as the university partner for AIG, which handles the Staples Center, the LA Kings at downtown, and so this will provide unique opportunities for students to gain practical experience within the entertainment sector, entertainment and sports media sector. In addition to that, with our dispute resolution courses, we offer a number of opportunities for students to gain externships and clinics as part of the program. The way that, again, we teach the courses is very hands-on. We do not have final exams for a lot of our dispute resolution courses. They are actually done through application papers where students will be required to write a 15 to 20 page paper that applies the theory that they've been studying in class to an area that they're looking at researching. So this provides an opportunity for students that are specializing in maybe employment disputes to focus their papers on an area that they want to delve into. And this is just a sampling of some of the externship placements that some of our students have been able to go through. As I went through the master's program, I did my internship with the U.S. Department of State. So I went to DC and worked with the State Department for 6 weeks. There's a number of different opportunities available depending on which LLM program you apply for. Some LLM programs will actually require that you do one externship within the field, and some LLM programs will leave it as an elective. So depending on the program, this actually may be a requirement to gain practical experience. And students have the flexibility to either propose their own, so if you have a connection with a organization within the field, or we actually have an externship binder and an externship coordinator who has a binder this big of all these different placement organizations that we've worked with. So you have the flexibility to work with an organization that we were connected with or propose your own. When it comes to completing an LLM at Pepperdine, one of the elements that we're very proud of is our rankings. And so the Pepperdine University has been ranked by Princeton Review as the #7 ranked program for the best professors. Professors at Pepperdine are well known for being very accessible. Many of our directors of our program will actually host events in their home, whether it is a social gathering over a book review, or actually going through and our academic director, Tom Stepanowicz, opens up his home for our international students for the International Student Dinner. Our faculty have what's called an open door policy, where you can talk with faculty and connect with them, whether it's questions on something in an academic program or research within the field. What we're very well known for is our dispute resolution ranking. So for our dispute resolution programs, we've been the #1 ranked program by U.S. News and World Report for the past 11 of the 12 past years. And so we have a very strong reputation within the dispute resolution field. In addition, we've been awarded awards from a number of different professional organizations, varying from the American Bar Association, California Dispute Resolution Council, Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, International Academy of Mediators, LA County Bar, and American College of Civil Trial Mediators. So not only are we recognized in the rankings, but also from professional organizations within the field. And then lastly, the Pepperdine environment. What's a little bit unique within Pepperdine is we will challenge you. We will challenge you with the curriculum for the LLM program, with the coursework, with what you're doing in the classroom, but we will also provide opportunities to just also enjoy the environment. The students below on the bottom left are actually some of the LLM students in the International Commercial Arbitration Program that went to a conference in Los Angeles with a variety of other LLM students, and that's just them playing a little bit of fun with the International Commercial Arbitration Ethics course. We also, because of our environment, students have taken advantage of being in the Malibu area, and we have arranged lessons for students to learn how to surf, as well as being able to graduate in overlooking the beautiful Pacific Ocean. So one of the keys in being able to find an academic program is having that balance of both academic rigor and enjoying the environment. We like to pride ourselves on that element of community here at Pepperdine. In addition, we also have the world's largest conflict library, which is the AAA Library and Information Center collection. This library was located in New York City, and about 6-7 years ago was moved over to Pepperdine University from a competitive bidding process. And so Pepperdine was awarded the AAA library from AAA in New York City, and so we have one of the largest resources for students looking at studying within the conflict resolution field. And so this includes some historical documents that are hard copy in the actual library, as well as a number of online journals and reference and resources. One of the elements that can be very convenient about the LLM program at Pepperdine is you really get to choose how you want to go through the program. The LLM program is available on a part-time or full-time basis. So if you're going through and you have a full law practice and you're looking at studying an LLM program and going part-time, that is certainly an option. Our courses are offered in different formats, ranging from 1-week intensives, 2-weekend formats, a 5-week format, as well as the full semester format, which is a 15-week format, typically in the afternoons or evenings. So you could, if you're local in Los Angeles, you can structure the courses that you're only coming in on the evenings, maybe a 6:15 to 8:15 course. The way the timing of those courses are structured are many of the courses are from starting at 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon, so you'll have a session that goes from 1:30 to 3:30, 3:50 to 5:50, and then 6:15 to 8:15. So in some instances, some LLM students like to schedule their courses so that they're back to back to back and only commute to Pepperdine 1 day a week. If they're going on a part-time basis, for some people, they prefer coming in. We do have a lot of attorneys, judges, or non-law practitioners that come in from other locations in the U.S. You do not necessarily have to dedicate a full year for the LLM program. We have domestic students that will go through the program on a part-time basis. The average is about 2.5 for our part-time commuter. And these are people that are taking maybe 2 classes a semester and structuring it in a way where they're only flying in for a 2-weekend intensive or a 1-week intensive. If you are an international candidate looking at coming in for the LLM program, you do have to pursue the program on a full-time basis as required by the government for a student visa. So as a full-time student, it's a 1-year program. Or we have had students that are going through and do go through on a full-time basis, but on a slower full-time path. Well, they will finish the program in about a year and a half, or maybe 2 years if they're also taking language courses. So there's a little bit of flexibility there. With our dispute resolution courses, we've also started offering courses at our campus in West Los Angeles. So there are 2 locations where students can go through and take their coursework. Majority of the coursework is held here in the Malibu campus, and about each semester will offer about 3 classes all in intensive formats, either a 5-week intensive or a 2 weekend intensive at our campus in West Los Angeles. That is a convenient format for those commuting since it's the same exit as LAX Airport. In addition, we actually have faculty that are very well known in a variety of fields. So the ability to go through an LLM program and study with a number of different faculty well known in the field is a very convenient option, whether it is focusing on international investment arbitration with Jack Coe or cross-cultural. We actually also have several faculty that are very well known in the entertainment, media, sports, like Maureen Weston or Victoria Schwartz. And so there's a number of different faculty that will serve as great references to students within the LLM program. Thomas J. Stepanovich is one of the most quoted faculty members in the field of arbitration by the Supreme Court. So to be able to gain access to pivotal faculty members within the field is a great resource to students. One of the elements to think about before applying to the program is to think about why. Why are you looking at studying within an LLM program? I always, before directing students into the most appropriate program, always recommend that applicants stop to think about what they're looking to accomplish. For an international candidate, are you looking at qualifying for a U.S. bar exam? Whether California, New York, or other bar exams. There are about 35 bar exams that will recognize an international first degree of law. So you could go through the coursework of an LLM program to qualify for that bar exam. For those that are domestic, are you looking at specializing in a particular region or a particular area of law, whether it's arbitration, international commercial arbitration, entertainment, media, sports? What is the purpose? Are you looking at focusing on gaining additional experiences or networking within the field? By thinking about what you're hoping to accomplish through the LLM program, that will then dictate the type of program or which of the LLM programs will be a better fit for what you're looking to accomplish. Some LLM programs will have a lot more focus on practice. Some will have a lot more focus on theory with business law. So it's very important to think about what you're hoping to do by completing the LLM program. At Pepperdine, we offer a number of different degree options. This can include the Juris Doctor, or the first degree of law here in the United States, the JD program, the Masters of Law program, the Master of Dispute Resolution program, as well as the Certificate in Dispute Resolution, and we most recently just added a certificate in Entertainment, Media, Sports Law. What we're focusing on in this particular session is just the Masters of Law program. So when it comes to the Masters of Law program, I described 2 different tunnels. So we have the Strauss Institute programs, which will include our Dispute Resolution program, our International Commercial Arbitration program, the International Commercial Law and Arbitration, International Commercial Law and Dispute Resolution, as well as United States Law and Dispute Resolution. And then the second series of LLM programs are under our graduate law programs, which are both United States Law and Entertainment, Media, and Sports Law programs. So for the Strauss Institute LLM programs, they're all 26 unit programs. How you go through the programs is, again, based on whether or not you choose to go part-time or full-time. You do not need to declare whether or not you're going up part-time or full-time. It's fairly fluid. It's more of a sense of how many courses you're registering in each semester. As a student that's admitted to the program, you're actually assigned a program advisor, and that advisor will help talk through the different programs, the different formats, the strategies of how you're going through and taking those courses. So with our dispute resolution programs, I kind of split them into two general areas. We've got the international commercial arbitration focused LLM programs, and there are three options within those LLM programs. Of them, the International Commercial Arbitration Program on your very left is the most flexible of all of the three programs. So with the ICA program, that program will focus on a series of international commercial arbitration courses, but then give you a number of elective options. So if you're looking at sitting for the bar exam and taking those as requirements, or if you're looking at complementing the ICA coursework with employment law cases or sports law cases or financial dispute cases, whatever the case may be, you have a number of elective courses available that you can customize that program to focus on international commercial arbitration and whatever other area that you're looking at. The other two international commercial arbitration programs, both ICLA, International Commercial Law and Arbitration, and ICLDR, International Commercial Law and Dispute Resolution, is a combination of both international commercial arbitration and business law classes. And so with the ICLA program, the difference is you're using all of your elective courses to take business law classes to be able to have both the focus on arbitration and the focus on business law. With the international commercial law and dispute resolution, you're having many of the same international commercial arbitration courses. You've got a few general courses thrown in there, like the mediation clinic, which is required as part of that program, where you will be required to go to the courts and mediate actual live cases with clients. To pass the mediation clinic, you need to mediate at least 24 cases. So you're going to be gaining a lot of experience through that particular program. So it has a little bit more of a general focus in addition to international commercial arbitration, and you're given two elective course options. And so you have a little bit of flexibility within that program, but it is not as flexible as the International Commercial Arbitration Program. For students that do the ICLA and the ICLDR, many of them want the business law focus in addition to the arbitration coursework. And then the second funnel within the LLM programs are the LLM and dispute resolution. This is the flagship program. This is the first of the LLM programs that started within the field, and honestly the most popular option because it gives students the most amount of flexibility with the dispute resolution designation. So with the LLM and dispute resolution, students are required to take the general courses that covered the dispute resolution topics, as well as the mediation clinic, as well as an externship where you're gaining experience in the field. And with those externships, again, they can be local here in the US, where maybe if your goal of an LLM program is working in private practice, it could be shadowing one of our local alumni that works within the field. So not only can you sit in on mediations, but you can also observe the business side of having a mediation practice. How do you network? What are you doing to get clients? And some of these elements that may not typically be covered. And then the U.S. Law and Dispute Resolution Program, which is focused on those that are looking to qualify for a U.S. bar exam while focusing on dispute resolution coursework. For many of the 5 dispute resolution LLM programs, you can use your electives to qualify for the bar exam. That will include the ICA, the International Commercial Arbitration Program, the Dispute Resolution, and the U.S. Law and Dispute Resolution Program. With those 3 programs, you can take the requirements for the bar if you're looking at qualifying as well as specializing. And then the 2 ICLA and the ICLDR, the International Commercial Law Arbitration and Dispute Resolution, those 2 programs have some limitations because you're using electives for business law classes. But if you want to take extra courses, then you may be able to get it to take courses required for the bar. I'd just be careful because you have the flexibility to do it within the program with some of the other programs. And then to go into some of the graduate law programs, we are starting this upcoming fall our LLM in Entertainment, Media, and Sports Law program. This particular program will focus on a series of courses, and it's designed for both international and domestic practitioners who are looking at specializing in entertainment, media, and sports law. Through this program, it's a little bit unique in the sense that you're going to have access to many of the entertainment, media, sports law classes offered here at the law school, It too is a 26-unit program like the dispute resolution LLM programs. But the element that's a little unique with our program is we actually have partnered with Pepperdine's Business School to allow you access to some of the business courses available at Pepperdine to complement the legal side of entertainment, media, sports. So you'll get access to take some of the business of sports, sports marketing, sports analytics, the digital media and entertainment courses, or maybe entertainment finance, depending on how you want to customize that LLM in entertainment, media, sports law. In addition to that, you will be required to do a 2-unit externship experience where you're working within the field, as well as 2 units of an LLM independent study. Now, the independent study is typically a written paper that you write towards the conclusion of that LLM program, and it averages about like 30 or 40 pages, so it's not as big as a thesis or dissertation type of work. And as I mentioned earlier, as announced just this year, Pepperdine has partnered with AEG, so that will provide a number of different opportunities for students looking at focusing on the entertainment, media, and sports law side field. Whether it's gaining those internships within the field or working with these organizations, it certainly has provided a unique opportunity for students going through the entertainment, media, sports law program. And then lastly, the last LLM program available is through the graduate law programs is our LLM in United States law. This particular program was designed for those from outside the United States with an international first degree of law, looking at coming in and taking courses that are normally available through the doctrinal or JD program. So through this particular program, there are 2 required courses. You're taking Introduction to U.S. Law, as well as U.S. legal research and writing and analysis, and then you can choose from 2 different tracks, either the fundamentals track, which is the track that many students will choose to do in preparation for a U.S. bar exam, or the flexible track, where maybe your area of focus is in a different area of law. Maybe it's bankruptcy or tax or environmental or a number of different areas. Through the flexible track program, you will be able to design your own LLM going through the coursework. And so what I have listed below are some of the faculty specializations that are noted on our faculty website. And so we have a number of robust faculty research that have been done into the field. And as you'll see, I couldn't list everything on that particular slide. So the ability to design your own program, focusing on a lot of the different strengths of the law school, is another unique element within this United States law program. And then in addition to those traditional LLM programs, we do have an LLM to JD transfer program, and this is typically for international candidates looking at going into a JD program. What's unique is the LLM to JD program will use your LLM coursework to determine whether or not you are admissible into the JD program and will not require the LSAT exam. In addition to that, for international candidates on a student visa, you could also apply for what's called OPT, or Optimum Practical Training, which will extend your student visa for 1 year after the LLM program to gain additional work experience or do an internship after finishing the LLM program, or perhaps if you're sitting and studying for that bar exam. When it comes to the application process, I always recommend to applicants start early. Admission for our particular programs are done on a rolling basis. So for the dispute resolution programs, we start students in the fall, which is mid-August, in the spring, which is January, as well as the summer, which is the end of May. Depending on the term that you're looking at applying for, I would recommend looking at applying at least for international candidates 6 months before the application process. For example, right now it's January, and we've already started to make decisions for the upcoming summer and fall terms. For the graduate law programs, which is the entertainment, media, sports law program, and the U.S. law program, both of those will have either fall or spring start dates. We do not start students over the summer for those particular programs just because there are not many summer courses available for the entertainment or the U.S. law field. Majority of our summer coursework is offered through our dispute resolution programs. There are a lot of different application components that are required as part of the application process, whether it's a personal statement, and the transcripts, essays, or standardized tests. I'll go over that in just one moment, but realize that it's just a part of the process. And so it's certainly doable. It may seem overwhelming to have all these different components, but as long as you're going through and you're checking through those boxes, it's a doable process. When it comes to the application process, one of the biggest questions I get is what to include in that personal statement. What are you looking for? Um, as an admissions officer, I always like to remind people, think of the bigger package. When I'm getting your application, I'm going to see a variety of different components that will include your transcripts of where you studied and what your JD was in, or your international LLB in law. So I'll already see the coursework that you've participated in. I will also get a copy of your CV or resume, which will list your experiences, what you've been doing in the field, possibly internships. So I'm already going to see your professional background and experiences. And so with the personal statement, don't just repeat the same information that I'm already seeing in your application. What I always recommend to applicants is to really use the personal statement to connect the dots between the different components I'm seeing in your application. Use it as an opportunity to tell me why you are going through, or your interest in the program, or you're pursuing this particular area of interest. And so if you can talk about how, maybe you're a working professional that happens to see a lot of entertainment cases going through, and you feel like you need that specialized knowledge or LLM to be able to add more within that particular field. Or perhaps you went through your international LLB in law and took a negotiation, or you took a mediation course and decided this is something that really piqued your interest, which led you to work with this international arbitration law firm, which has really solidified what you're looking at doing, which is why you're applying to this specialized LLM in international commercial arbitration. So use the personal statement to tell me, why are you interested in this particular field? What are you hoping to do once you graduate through the program? And what is your background? How are you going to add to the classroom environment? What we do when we're reading the personal statements is we're looking to see, is this student a good fit for this particular program? So I always recommend to applicants to tweak the personal statement. In the reality is, in many instances, students are applying to multiple programs at the same time. And you could use many of the same structures of that personal statement for the multiple programs that you're applying for. But I always recommend that you tweak that personal statement so that it reads that it's specific to the institution you're applying for. So again, I'm reading it to look to see if you're a good fit. If you take the time to actually spell out why you're a good fit, that will help me see how you would connect with our particular program. So take the time to actually tweak the personal statement so it reads to be specific for the institution that you're applying for. One of the main errors I see within a personal statement is there are some people that are trying to use a personal statement to demonstrate that they are academically qualified for the program, and so they write it so that it reads like a journal article. If you've got too many supras or ids or references within that personal statement, then you've missed the purpose. Again, it's called personal statement for a reason. So I'm looking for the why. I'm looking for what's brought you to this point. I'm looking for a little bit of what's motivating you within that, and not necessarily legal analysis. So be careful. If you're looking to demonstrate your academic qualifications and want to submit a writing sample, in many instances, we'll still read that, but just through a writing sample and not the personal statement. I've honestly have received journal articles, I've received books from applicants going through the program looking to kind of give us a better sense of their background. So don't use the personal statement to demonstrate that. Submit a writing sample if you want to, but it's not required as part of the program. And one other element is to make sure you double check your work. There are still instances where I receive a personal statement that'll say I'm a perfect applicant for XYZ University that's not Pepperdine. So just make sure that you're submitting the right statement to the right school, and that you're proofreading, especially if your native language is not English. Make sure that the personal statement reads fluidly. There are a lot of different application examinations that may be required. Just to put it out there at the start, the LSAT, or the Law School Admissions Test, is not required for LLM programs. That is typically a popular question I get for a lot of international candidates, but the LSAT is only an entrance exam for the JD program and is not required for LLM. For those whose native language is not English, we will require applicants to demonstrate English proficiency, and that is typically through a TOEFL or IELTS exam result. And so, in addition to actually taking an English proficiency test, international applicants are also required to go through a Skype interview, and that provides us an opportunity to just to get to know you a little bit more, as well as gain a better understanding of English proficiency. For the letters of recommendation at Pepperdine, we do require that you submit 3 letters of recommendation. There is no perfect recipe on the type of recommendations that you should submit as part of the application. It will honestly depend on what your background is. For a candidate that's applying that just recently graduated from a law school or from an academic program, I'm going to expect more academic recommendations, maybe a recommendation from an internship supervisor, but that's going to be a little bit different from someone that's applying into the program that maybe has 20, 25 years experience. I'm going to expect mostly professional letters of recommendation. For someone that graduated 20, 25 years ago, to go back and give me an academic recommendation is not going to make any sense. And we also look at what you're not submitting. So if you're going through and you're giving me academic recommendations and you've been working in the field for 20, 25 years, we're going to read between the lines. What does that say about you professionally if you're not able to provide a professional letter of recommendation within that field? So I always recommend to applicants to be strategic in how you're choosing those letters of recommendation. It's always good to show us a variety of different perspectives of you as an applicant. The letter of recommendation is another opportunity for us as a university to get to know you as an applicant, but through the eyes of someone else. So to be able to get a letter of recommendation, if you're a recent graduate from that law professor that taught you that mediation or basic arbitration course, can be very helpful to not only tell us how you are in the classroom and how well you did in that class, but it also demonstrates your passion for this particular area. Or maybe it was that sports law class that you had taken at the university as well. So use those letters of recommendation to not just determine academic qualifications, but also to demonstrate particular interest in the field. For mid-career practitioners that are out there in the field, we always recommend that you use letters of recommendation as another opportunity to reach out to some of your professional colleagues. So if you're looking at perhaps transitioning from legal law practice into maybe dispute resolution or mediation, using the letter of recommendation to reach out to current clients or colleagues about your potential as a mediator. Maybe you know someone in the field who is an alum of the program who is a working mediator that can talk about how they worked with you in a particular case and can see your potential as a mediator within that avenue. The letters of recommendation can actually be very strategic for practitioners to reintroduce yourself to your colleagues within another lens. So if you're looking to make that transition in private practice, it can be a very helpful tool. With the letters of recommendation, be careful when you're focusing too much on titles. I would always recommend applicants to focus on the content. What is that person sharing with us on the admissions committee regarding who you are, what you're looking to accomplish, and your experience within the field? For some people, they jump right to that president of the organization or the dean of the law school. But if that letter of recommendation comes back and just says that you were a student in the program or just confirms your employment, what is that adding to your application? Versus if you had gone to the assistant dean that happened to supervise your thesis, or that vice president of the organization that you problem solved a situation for, whatever the case may be. Be driven by the content, not necessarily the title of people that are writing those letters of recommendation. When it comes to the application process, there are actually 2 ways to apply for the LLM program. The first way is through the Law School Admissions Council. So LSAC is the online system where students can apply for the LLM program. Within the LSAC system, you will see two applications available for Pepperdine Law. You will see the Strauss Institute application, which again will cover the 5 dispute resolution programs, and you will see the Graduate Law LSAC application, which will cover both the Entertainment Media Sports Law program as well as the United States Law program. With LSAC, this is a very convenient way of applying if you're applying to multiple institutions. You will start your account within LSAC, and it'll allow you to upload your personal statement, your resume, CV, the different documents, as well as send your letters of recommendation to those third parties, and they will submit them directly to LSAC. So there's one location to be able to send your applications to multiple different institutions or schools. In addition to the online process, we also will accept applications in a PDF form. In some instances, we know that there are certain applicants that are only applying to Pepperdine's programs, and so this will save a little bit of money of having to go directly to us rather than having to use the clearinghouse of the Law School Admissions Council. I do want to note that there are 2 PDF applications available on our website. The one on the left is for our graduate law programs, which again will cover the entertainment, media, sports law, and the U.S. law program. And the application on the right is for our dispute resolution programs. The content is fairly similar, but these will go to 2 different admissions committees to review the applications, and so they are 2 different application processes. When it comes to those application requirements, as I mentioned, we are going to require that you apply online or through the PDF application. So the application is one component. The personal statement, which is that 3 to 5 page statement, resume, CV, 3 letters of recommendation, your transcripts. And when I say transcripts, these are official transcripts. So for domestic candidates, this will include any institution where you've attended. So if you have your bachelor's degree, your graduate degree, your JD degree, we will require transcripts for all of those institutions. For international candidates, we do require that you have your transcripts evaluated. And again, this will include all of the programs attended. So as an international candidate, if you have your bachelor's in law and you also got your master's in finance or even some other degrees that are not related to law, we still do want to see that those transcripts as well as the evaluation process for those transcripts. All of the Pepperdine's LLM programs will have a $50 application fee. And then everything is done through rolling admissions. Only the graduate law programs start in the summer, spring, and not the summer, while the dispute resolution programs will go year-round. One of the elements that can delay the application is the evaluation agency for international candidates. And so we do require that applicants submit their international or foreign transcripts out through an evaluations agency. If you're applying online through LSAC, it's very convenient. It's one checkbox that you would have to indicate, yes, please also evaluate. Or if you're applying to Pepperdine directly, we recommend that applicants use WES to evaluate the transcripts simply because LSAC will not let you just use the evaluation service. They want you to pay for the document assembly service, the online application, as well as going through the evaluation service. So it may save applicants a little bit more money. With the evaluation agency, it provides us a better background of the grades that international candidates received, as well as the reputation of the particular program that they had graduated from. When it comes to sources of funding, scholarships is always a very important component as part of the program. I describe this in 2 different ways. You can either get an internal scholarship, which is a scholarship offered by Pepperdine University. For all of our LLM programs, the partial scholarships are automatically considered. You do not have to submit any additional statements. The partial scholarships are awarded with the admissions decision. So in the admissions letter, it'll say, congratulations, you've been admitted to the LLM program with the scholarship of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, depending. The highest for our partial scholarships will go up to 50% of the tuition cost. The second type of scholarship available is what I describe as external scholarships. These are scholarships offered by third-party organizations that may complement what you're already receiving from Pepperdine. I always recommend to applicants to do your research. Find out some of these organizations that can help cover the cost for the scholarships. They'll be a number of different organizations that offer scholarships, and they may be structured in a variety of different ways, which I'll go in a moment. For some of the internal scholarships that we offer, again, partial scholarships are automatically considered, and you'll get that with your admission decision. But we offer a number of different full tuition scholarships that are funded in partnership with third-party organizations. So currently, we've got the full tuition JAM scholarship, as well as two full tuition Sieg Miller Law Firm scholarships. We've also partnered with several competition organizations like the VIS competition and the FDI Move competition to offer scholarships for those particular programs. And then the Rick Harris Law Firm Scholarship is a new scholarship that was awarded this past year. Just to go into more detail about some of the application process for those scholarship programs is for this upcoming 2017 to 18, we have 3 confirmed full tuition scholarships. We're still working on a few others, but I can't announce those until they've been confirmed. But the Pepperdine JAM Scholarship is available for anyone looking at studying within one of the dispute resolution programs, but can either be a domestic or international candidate. The Pepperdine Sieg Miller Scholarship, there's 2 scholarships offered through the Sieg Miller Law Firm, which is a law firm located in Orange County, and they funded 1 scholarship for Korean nationals and 1 scholarship for applicants from Europe. For these scholarships, they will require an application for the LLM program, which has to be done prior to the scholarship deadline, in addition to a 2-page essay. I always recommend to applicants to apply for whichever scholarships you qualify for. So if you are domestic international, you would qualify for the JAM scholarship with our dispute resolution programs. If you are someone that is from Korea, you would qualify for both the Sieg Miller and JAMs, as well as anyone from Europe would qualify for the Sieg Miller Europe scholarship and JAM. So that means that if you're applying for multiple scholarships, I would recommend writing a new statement for each of the different scholarships that you're applying for. I always recommend to applicants that when you're going through and you're writing, it's a 2-page statement on why you should be selected for the JAM scholarship or the Sieg Miller scholarship. I always recommend to applicants to do your research, go to JAM's website or the Sieg Miller website and look up the mission and try to write a 2-page essay that kind of reflects the mission of the organization. What we're looking for with these full tuition scholarships is we're looking at where the location for one, depending on which scholarship, that qualifying element, but what your background, what's been your experience, why you're interested in the program, maybe if there's a financial need. But basically, with these full tuition scholarships, you're applying for the particular program. At Pepperdine, we decide on who would be awarded the JAM scholarship or the Sieg Miller scholarship. And so I would try to write a statement that reflects how your mission in life can maybe parallel the mission of the organization and what they're looking at doing, because we do forward snippets of kind of the applications received to the organizations funding these scholarships. And then for some of the external scholarship options, there are a number of different organizations out there. Again, these are third parties. They will have differing deadlines. Some scholarships will require an application a year in advance or a year and a half. Some will require them after you've already received your admissions decision. So make sure you do your research. As a reference, there are a number of different organizations that provide scholarships, whether it is based on background, whether it's specialized topics, whether it's global region of the world. There are a lot of organizations out there. I do collect information as I travel, and we'll post them on our website as a reference. So if you're looking at more scholarship options, there should be a link on there that will look at international scholarship, third-party scholarships, as well as domestic. Honestly, there's going to be more for international than there are domestic, but there's still a number of options out there. In addition to the academic programs, we do have a visiting researcher program. So this is designed for faculty members, attorneys, or judges, or people that are looking at coming in and doing research at Pepperdine without having to go through an academic program. With the visiting researcher program, the visiting researchers will be able to audit 4 classes, participate in our mediating litigated case training program, as well as our summer U.S. Law and Legal Writing seminar. So this is structured in a way that for those looking at doing research that don't want to go through the full academic program or degree options, you could still take advantage of some of our research resources available at Pepperdine. And with the application process for the visiting researcher program, you can apply for 1 semester or stay for the full year. We do have a number of different training programs available as well for those that are looking for a way to connect with the professional community, which includes a mediating litigated case or professional skills program or Women's Negotiation Academy or U.S. Law and Legal Writing Seminar. We recently just added 2 days strategic negotiation trainings in Washington, D.C. as well. As a student in an academic program, you also would get these professional training programs at a student rate. So in many instances, there are specialized topics like maybe elder care dispute resolution that is offered through these training programs that may not be offered in an academic program. So it's a good balance between the two. And as a student in an academic program, the ability to participate in some of these programs where you can network with practitioners all over the world can be a unique opportunity. As an example, our professional skills program in Malibu attracts over 250 mediators from around the world. And then during the summer, we do offer a U.S. Law and Legal Writing Seminar. This is simply a 3.5-week, 4-week program where someone, a professional in the field, can come to Malibu and kind of strengthen their legal research and writing skills. In some instances, it's a preparation program for the LLM, but we do have people that will come in just for the 4-week training to have a Malibu legal experience and then go back to their home country. And then I do have Mohammed here, who I will give him an opportunity to kind of share a little bit about his experience going through the program. Just to give you a little bit of background, Mohammed is a student in our LLM, was a student in our LLM program that did focus on a series of his coursework and was awarded the JAMS full tuition scholarship. And so he went through the program and was also working with, as you see from his LinkedIn profile, was also research assistant for actually Tom Stepanowicz, so was able to connect with our professor in regards to some of the research that he's done and was able to delve more into the particular field. Let's see if I can find him in this list here to be able to give him access to the microphone where he can talk a little bit about what it was like for him going through the particular program. So just give me a second here. If you have questions, you can write them in the chat while I while I try to find him in the listing here. Oh, I do see one question, just to respond to that. How high is the scholarship for the VIS MOOC competition? So both the competition scholarships, the FDI and the VIS MOOC competitions, have previously been offered as full tuition scholarships. The FDI MOOC court competition was announced as a 50% scholarship this year, and the VIS, we haven't announced it, but is most likely going to be, again, a 50% scholarship. And for those, you would write the same 2-page essay outlining why you should be selected for that particular scholarship. And then Vahid has a question for LLM starting from summer. Does that also include LLM in international commercial arbitration? It can, depending. I do want to say that the International Commercial Arbitration sequence of coursework has a series of courses that start in the fall and continue into the spring. We have had students that will start during the summer or maybe the spring semester, but what will happen is you will typically use your elective coursework and you will take the mediation, the negotiation, some of those other courses during that time where you're coming into the international commercial arbitration out of sequence. But just know that when you're planning your time at Pepperdine, that if you're taking those, that if you start in the spring or you start in the summer, that you have to plan to be there for the following fall and spring. Because the ICA coursework is only spread out through the fall. Half of it's during the fall and half of it's during the spring. So know that you'll take a little bit over a year to go through the program and that you'll start with the electives. So it's possible. Again, we're a dispute resolution program, so if we can't find a happy medium or find some creative solution to what you're looking at doing, then we're kind of not practicing what we're preaching. So I found Mohammed here, and I'm going to go ahead and give him access to talk to the group so that he can talk a little bit more regarding his experience. Mohammed, are you there? Okay, while he's going through and activating his camera and his microphone, let me answer one more question down here. What is the tuition for the Entertainment Sports Certificate LLM and Dispute Resolution LLM program? Okay, so tuition for all of the LLM programs are charged on a per unit basis. So the tuition is $19.20 per unit, and they're all 26 unit programs. So the tuition is going to be the same. For each of the different programs, it is not any different. And so with the LLM program, you pay as you go along. So if you're only going through and taking one or two classes, you only pay for the one or two classes. If you're going through and completing it within 1 year, then you will pay the full tuition with that 1 year. I should note that for each academic year, tuition does adjust, so it maybe goes up $50 or $60 is the average for the past um, however many years I've been here, it's only been a $50 or $60 increase average per unit. And so with the 26 unit program times at 1920 per unit, that comes out to $49,920 for the full LLM program, and that's prior to any scholarship. So if you are awarded a scholarship, that can be reduced by, 15, 20, 25,000 dollars, depending on what scholarship you've received. And I see that Mohammed's there. Mohammed, can you say something so I can make sure the mic's working?
Hello, Sarah.
Perfect. Now, can you guys hear
Hello.
Mohammed?
Can you see me?
I can see you. You're good.
Good.
Perfect. Well, welcome to
Hello.
the webinar. So can you tell us a little bit about what it was like for you going through the program? Can you share a little bit with the audience?
Okay, so I started my application through an email sent from Sarah Gonzalez just to apply for Pepperdine University. And I started my application in 2013 and I got to be accepted in March, as I remember, March to 2014, and I have applied to the James Scholarship, and I got to be accepted in the 1st of May. And then I have arranged my stuff here in Egypt, and I got to travel to the United States for the first time for me in August 2014, and I spent almost a year there, and I LLM from Pepperdine, and I got back home holding an LLM from Pepperdine University with an honor. So that's
So,
simply my story.
what was it like as a student in the program? How was the experience for you?
Yeah, actually, it was a very, very good experience for me as a student at the program itself, because I have experienced many stories with most of my friends who studied abroad, especially in the United States. And I think that the best story for among of these stories was my story. Because at Pepperdine you will find a very very specialized LLM program that you cannot find this program in elsewhere, and the professors are very very well recognized professors, and they are very well known all around the world, especially in the field of arbitration and dispute resolution in general. Third of all, the staff itself of the Strauss Institute, represented by Sarah, of course. You will not find any helpful and any cooperative staff like the staff of the Strauss Institute. Um, the atmosphere of the studying itself and the atmosphere of the classes inside the Strauss and inside the school flow in general is amazing, and I liked it. I liked all the students there. No racism, no hatred, no any bad concepts or any bad principles. You will find peace, and you will find the best place in Malibu, and generally you will find the best program for the dispute resolution in general and arbitration in specific in Pepperdine University.
And Mohammed, can you share a little bit about your background so people can kind of get a sense of your professional work experience, where you're
Yeah.
at, so they can get a sense of who we look for these different full tuition scholarships.
Okay.
So what do you do
So
professionally?
first of all, I got my bachelor degree. Okay. First of all, I got my bachelor degree in law from Cairo University in 2009. I followed it by a master degree in private law from the same university. And Indiana University was offering its program, its LLM program, in a Cairo campus. So I applied for this LLM program, and I got a partial scholarship. And I got this LLM in international business law in 2013. Then I applied for Pepperdine. That's on the academic level. On the professional level, after I have been graduated from Cairo University, I have applied to a law firm specialized in intellectual property rights. I spent there around like 5 or 6 months. Then I moved to Hafiz Avocat. Hafiz Avocat is a very specialized law firm. It's a unique arbitration practice, and it was the only law firm in Egypt that works only in arbitration. And I spent there around 2000 and a half, and then I have been appointed as a public prosecutor at the Egyptian Public Prosecution, and I'm still there. I'm working there right now. I was in a district area, and then I have applied for the LLM. And when I got back, I have been promoted to the financial crimes department at the General Attorney Office, and I'm still working there right now. So that's on the professional level. Yeah.
Perfect. And can you tell me a little bit about what it was like being here at Pepperdine? I know that you lived on campus while you were here. Can you tell me a little bit about the experience being in the program as well as living on campus?
Okay. Actually, the Pepperdine campus, it is ranked as, I think, the first or the second best campus at the United States and all around the world. It's enough for you that you study on the ocean's view. That's that's amazing in itself. I have lived on the campus, but I have to say something. Malibu is very expensive. So I was paying like much money per month for the campus itself. But to overcome this problem, there are many superb areas around the campus itself that more cheaper than the campus. But you have to have a car because there are no public transportations there, and this was the second problem that I had. But the campus itself was amazing. The campus is divided into rooms, and no mixed rooms between girls and boys. It's just departments are for boys or for girls. Um, Most of the departments are like for four persons. Yeah. And sometimes you choose like to be like 2 persons or 3 persons. It depends on the case itself. I was living in a department of four persons, My colleagues were Americans and two Danish guys. They were amazing. I liked their companionship. Actually, I didn't feel that I live with three guys at the same department because the facilitations that are in the departments makes you feel like you live only as once in the department, not with other guys. Especially when you understand each other. So this is the good thing about living on campus. The second thing is that the library was very nearby and the classes were was very nearby by the campus. So I was just like waking up, washing my face, and having something for breakfast, and go direct to the class or to the library itself. So I don't waste time like in the way going forth or going back from home to the campus or to the classes or whatever. Second of all, there are some professors who live in campus itself, in the campus, and this was making what can I say, like the direct contact between you and the professors who live in campus more easier for you, like because day by day you might meet the professors, you might face them like walking on the campus itself. So it makes some sort of familiarity with the professors themselves. Like it's not a kind of relationship between a professor and a student as long as it's a kind of relationship between friends, friends like or friends or colleagues, not like an official relationship between professors and students. So this what I liked most about the professors who lives on campus. And as I remember, at the beginning of each academic year, there is like a reception made by the dean of the university, the dean of the School of Law, and the director of the Strauss Institute. And actually, this reception makes it deletes all the what shall I say, like when you are very worried about the program and you are very afraid from the students, from the professors, from the staff, and from the School of Law, from everything that is new. Um, this reception makes everything simple and makes everything simple and clear, and it makes you like very courage and encourage you to ask whatever questions you have to like to come to the program with um, a good character and unyielding hope. That's it.
Perfect. Well, thank you for sharing that. I do want to make sure I open it up for questions, and so for people that have questions, either to ask Mohammed directly or myself regarding the programs, I'm also going to skip it.
Of course.
So excuse me as I scroll through the slides to get towards the end. The slides had stopped when we switched over to Mohammed, because we do have a number of other webinars that we do have coming up. I do see a few questions on here that I do want to address as well.
And I've seen them too.
So what are the questions I see up here?
Okay. I'm trying to search for the questions too.
What would be the ideal externship to complement your LLM in commercial law and international arbitration? My intent is to work for a U.S. firm. There are a number of different externship options available, whether it's domestic or international. Just this past year, we had one of the speakers. Throughout the year, we actually have what's called brown bag speakers that will come into the law school and talk a little bit about elements of practice within the field. And one of the practitioners that came in is actually a gentleman who's a domestic attorney that works in the international commercial arbitration field at a law firm in Texas. So when you look at international commercial arbitration, it's not limited to just being outside the United States, but there are plenty of law firms in the US that focus in that particular region if you're looking at working within that field. Of the students that attended that lunchtime session, actually half the students were domestic students looking at working in international commercial arbitration. So that certainly is a big growing focus within the particular field. There is also another question here on how is the scholarship application to those independent organizations processed. Those scholarship applications are actually submitted directly to Pepperdine. So you will either submit it to the Dear Academics at pepperdine.edu, which is our generic email address, or to my colleague Marcelo Rosadilla, who will actually add those applications within the system. So again, application for the full tuition scholarships come in two parts. You need to actually apply for the LLM program, and then submit the two-page scholarship that is due March 3rd. So applications now are currently being considered. If you're awarded a partial scholarship as part of your LLM admission decision and then get picked for the LLM full tuition scholarship, you do not get both. That partial scholarship is then replaced with the full tuition. So just note you can be awarded a partial scholarship and then apply for the full tuition and then wait for that full tuition and then it's replaced if you are awarded that full tuition scholarship. But those decisions are made by Pepperdine. We just partner with the organizations. They provide the funding to us to be able to give those scholarships to students. So they're selected by the Pepperdine Admissions Committee.
Okay, Sarah.
And then there's one other question here on my interest is business law in the international arena. We certainly do have a lot of business law classes available at the law school that are done within the international format. What's a little unique is because Pepperdine has also the graduate business school. If you also wanted to combine those courses and cross-register for a business class, you also have that option as well.
Okay, Sarah.
Yes.
I have seen a question from Amir from Germany, and he said that he is graduating from Cairo University and he doesn't know how to send the transcripts from Cairo University to LSAC. So my advice to you, Amir, is that you have the transcripts from Cairo University itself or any Egyptian university, and you make sure that you have the transcripts in an envelope sealed and have the stamp of the Cairo University itself, and you can send them by yourself to LSAC, and they accept that kind of envelopes. But it has to be sealed and it has to be stamped by the stamp of the Cairo University itself. So this is how to overcome this problem. There is another question about the LLM and if yeah, from a guest, I don't know the name. So can you take the California bar with LLM only? Yeah, you can take the California bar and the New York bar, both of them. During the LLM, you have a mandatory courses or classes for the LLM and for the master degree, and you can take, as I remember, 12 credits for applying to the bar, whether California or New York bar, and this is to have be arranged by the student itself and the mentor, because each student at Pepperdine they assign him a mentor. He shall be a professor from the LLM program, and the mentor, like any idea you have to offer it to the mentor, and he advises you whether this is a good idea or no. If you plan to take the bar, you ask him and you seek his advice. What classes should I have? What courses should I take? And they advise you about the classes that you take in order to apply for the bar. And for the California bar, you don't have to take the LLM itself. Like if you have a license degree from outside, you can apply, but it will be very difficult for you to pass the bar without taking the required courses or classes from the bar.
And I should
So
note
these
there are
are the
about
two questions.
there What's a little unique is the United States does not have one bar exam. There are 50 bar exams for each of the, or 51 different bar exams based on the region, including Washington, D.C. Of those, 35 will recognize an international first degree of law. So you would qualify, but honestly, the most popular of the two are California and the New York bar exam. And the New York recently moved to the multi-state bar exam. So those are the two exams that students will typically prepare for. One thing you do want to think about is you will want to know whether or not you want to sit for a bar exam before you start the LLM program. Simply because, again, like as Mohammed mentioned, it does require, if especially if you do not have law practice, it will require about 12 to 14 units of coursework as part of the LLM program. So you do want to make sure that you schedule accordingly and you use your electives to take those bar courses so that you can qualify for that bar exam. And I always recommend to applicants use this time now before you start the LLM program to check with the California and New York bars and submit your international first degree of law transcript to the bar to make sure that it qualifies on their end as a first degree of law. There are many hybrid law, business, or other programs that may not qualify for the bar exam, no matter whether or not you do an LLM program. So you want to you want to know whether or not that's the case before you start an LLM. That way, it gives you time to change to a JD program or to adjust your applied program accordingly based on your qualifications.
Okay, so there are two other questions. One from Taylor, and he's asking about the internship or the externship that he can do if he takes the LLM in international business and international commercial arbitration. So I think this will be part of the LLM program itself. You can apply for an internship or externship at any US law firm or any reputable centers for arbitration or mediation at the United States. For example, the CPR, the Conflict Prevention Resolution, and all these centers and all these institutions, once they know that you are a graduate from the Pepperdine University, they have a trust in your LLM degree, and they have a trust in you as a person and as a student itself, and they all want to make use of the experience, and whether the academic or the professional experiences that you have, so it will be much easy for you to apply and to be accepted as an extern for any of these institutions. So I think it will be if you do some effort, you will have a very good opportunity. And I know many of my friends at Pepperdine who have applied. They were not American who have applied for externships, and they got accepted without the help of anyone. And of course, if you find any difficulty, well, and you seek any assistance or any cooperation from the Pepperdine University's professors, they do not stand in this they don't leave any room for helping students and giving service for them. And another question from Inda Shao Kawis, the duration of the LLM program. I think Sarah have replied to this question. If you take it as a full time, you may have it for 1 or 2 years. 1 year you will have like 6 classes or 7 classes per semester. And if you take it on 2 years or 1 year and a half, it will be more easier for you. I got it for 1 year. So I took in the first semester I took like 7 classes, and the other semester I took like 6 classes in beside the thesis itself. That's it.
And then there's one more
Sarah?
question from Amir about the availability to prepare for the bar exam. And so again, depending on your qualifications, if you're an international candidate that has been practicing law, the California bar can let you apply for the bar exam without what's called the 1 year cure year, which is the typically going through an LLM program. But if you're going through and you want to help prepare, many students will take 12 to 14 units of coursework on topic areas covered by the bar, contracts, torts, civil procedure, crim pro, as part of the LLM program in preparation. But in addition to the coursework that you take as part of the LLM, many students will register for a separate bar prep course. Even US students here in the United States will take a bar prep course in order to prepare for the bar exam. So there are a few different ways of doing that. We do have a company that comes into Pepperdine over the summer and does host a session here at Pepperdine to help students prepare for that bar exam.
Um, so there is another question. As I understand, Pepperdine does not offer SGD program currently. Do you have a plan to add this program in the future? And I think I have the same question, Sarah, so you can answer that.
Okay, which one?
Pepperdine does not offer SGD program currently. Do you have a plan to add this program in the future?
That is correct. So currently, the highest law degree offered at Pepperdine is the LLM degree. We currently do not have a SJD program. It requires a separate proposal that has to go to several different committees in order to start one. I have always been a big supporter of trying to start an SJD program, and I've talked to Mohammed about this a few times. But it's not something that we currently offer. I would love to develop a proposal, but that certainly will take a little bit of time in order to get through the pipelines.
And I add also like it's a very difficult decision for Pepperdine to take because Pepperdine School of Law, if it decides to offer this program, they do not search only for the admission process. They also search for the how to fund the program because having an SGD in America like it takes like 3 to 4 years, so it will be very difficult for students to afford the funds of this program. So Pepperdine itself searches for like sponsors and law firms who can sponsor this program in order for the students, if they apply for admission, they apply for admission and for getting scholarship too. So this makes the mission of Pepperdine more difficult in deciding in this case. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank
But I'm
you.
sure
We
that in
do
the
have
future, one
three.
day.
We do have three other webinars coming up. So this again is the webinar covering the LLM program. Next Friday, we will offer the webinar covering the Master of Dispute Resolution, which is the typical program for non-lawyers. As well as the following Friday, the webinar will cover opportunities for visiting law students, and the following Friday, the last Friday, will be programs for attorneys and judges, both academic and professional, which will go over some of the training programs. I do want to make sure I provide you with my direct contact information for those of you that have questions that may come up at a later point. This is actually my direct email. So if you do have if you do have questions on the program and want to be able to get direct answers or talk about your specific circumstance or case, you're welcome to email me directly, and you can reach me at the email address on the screen. That is also my direct telephone number if you would like to give me a call and talk, as well as I am also available to talk via Skype. And so if you do have any additional questions, please let me know. This session again is recorded, and I will be forwarding the recorded session to everybody. So if you wanted to listen in more detail or go through some of the different components, you can certainly do so. And so you will be able to, everybody will get a copy of the webinar as well. So if there are any other questions, please do let us know. But thank you again for attending the session. And please
Okay,
thank Mohammed for being able to log in after his work time in Egypt to be able to share his experience with you.
it's my honor, Sarah, and I have seen some of them asking for my email and my Skype account, and I have provided them with. So feel free to contact me to ask about anything. I'll be there. We are all colleagues, and I wish you all the best of luck. And whenever you need me, you will find me.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Mohammed, for being able to share your
Thank you,
experience
Sam.
to the participants. And this will conclude the session for today. And hopefully, we'll see you at the one of the upcoming webinars if you have interest in some of the other programs, or just contact me directly with any
Of
additional
course.
questions. Thank you so much for being here this Friday, and I hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye.